We've got a Delhi High Court order when it comes to tree cutting. It's been made very clear. What is it saying? Well, the breaking news is, and we're just coming back to this, that the felling of trees, about 14,000 or so trees, has been stopped, has been stayed by the Delhi High Court till the 2nd of July, which is when, in fact, you have the Green Court basically opening from its holidays, coming back to work. That's the National Green Tribunal. And we have Snigdha with us once again. Snigdha, what is the latest development, the nuance that we've been able to understand so that we can say clearly now that actually trees cannot be cut till the 2nd at least?
Well, Amitod, essentially the court heard the petition and took strong observations that, this entire matter, you can't be cutting trees to make way for buildings. But it was NDTV, the project developer itself, who volunteered not to cut any trees until the next hearing, when the Delhi High Court will be hearing the case again on the 2nd of July. It will be heard in court number 1 when the courts reopen on the 2nd of July. So it wasn't, the Delhi High Court did not put out a harsh stay on it. It is an essential stay, but it was an undertaking volunteered by the project developer, NDTV. Now, what is essentially
stay on the phone line.
NDTV
we just want to go across to the petitioner who's speaking. We'll come back to you in just a minute. The lawyer, rather, of the petitioner who's speaking. Let's listen to that quickly, and then we'll come back to Snigdha.
जो पेड़ काटे जा रहे हैं साउथ दिल्ली में पर्टिकुलरली फॉर रीडेवलपमेंट ऑफ दिल्ली, उसको चैलेंज करने के लिए इस रिट पिटीशन को परसों फाइल किया गया था। और आज हाई कोर्ट के सामने एनबीसीसी ने यह स्टेटमेंट दिया है कि वो कोई भी ट्री नहीं काटेंगे 4 जुलाई तक। और पिटिशनर्स को परमिशन दी है कि ट्री अथॉरिटी के जो ऑर्डर्स हैं उनको फॉर्मली इस रिट पिटीशन में चैलेंज कर सकें।
All right, Snigdha, we just heard the lawyer of the petitioner saying that it's 4th July and not 2nd July. Let's get some clarity on that. Why the confusion?
Yes, it is. There's no true order till the next date of hearing, which is the 4th of July. Now, based on a statement made by the NDTV, the project developer, to the bench, however, did want to put a stay on the tree cutting. But before the Delhi High Court bench could actually give out a statement, the NDTV project developer made a statement and said that they would volunteer and not cut any more trees until the next date of hearing. However, the court has also asked the petitioner to amend the petition and to change the reference to NGT as the Tree Act, because the tree felling does not fall under NGT, it falls under the Tree Act. So the Delhi High Court has actually asked the petitioner to make some amendments in the petition, and then it will rehear the entire petition on the 4th of July. But until the 4th of July, NDTV has taken a personal volunteer in an undertaking that it will not cut any more trees.
All right, Snigdha, you've been reporting on this story for a long time, for the last few days, and if you could just give us a little bit of background for those viewers who are joining us right now of how this has reached the High Court, and perhaps also give us a sense of how much intensity we often see as reporters in a High Court when it comes to a particular case which has been building up and it's actually reached a situation where somebody or the other has to knock on the door of the court. So take us through the background as we perhaps get more information on all that's taken place. Go ahead.
Well, Amitabh, this comes as a big success and a big respite to all the activists and the petitioners who had been advocating and really, camping outside Sarojini Nagar and Netaji Nagar, hoping that there will be no more trees cut. Now, under 6th redevelopment of South Delhi, there were trees to be cut, as many as 14,500 trees to be cut collectively from 6 of those areas. The project developer, NDTV, is responsible to be making government housing, commercial space in those areas. And for that, they have already started work in Sarojini Nagar and Netaji Nagar. Trees have already, as many as 3,000 trees have already been cut in those 2 areas. However, they do not have a permission for Sarojini Nagar yet. In Sarojini Nagar, there will be about 11,000 trees that will be brought down to make way for the redevelopment. And that is what people have been protesting in that area, saying that, look, we perhaps could not save trees in Sarojini Nagar, but we will not allow them to go ahead with Sarojini Nagar. And they made a huge amount of, protests, not just old and activists, but even students came out on the streets over the weekend, braved the scorching heat and protested. And perhaps this is and the whole argument that Delhi is one of the most polluted capitals in the world. How can you possibly be cutting age-old, mature trees and be planting saplings in its place about 30 kilometers away? Because Netaji Nagar, so you won't get a permission unless and until you give compensatory land. The compensatory land for Netaji Nagar felling was given 30 kilometers away in Wazirabat Barrage, and that makes no sense. The damage is being done to South Delhi. How is planting a sapling in this weather of Delhi 30 kilometers away going to help? So the activists are really, this comes as a big relief to them that at least the High Court has taken cognizance that this is going to damage Delhi's green cover. And despite that, Urban Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has been tweeting, and I mean, the first problem that his tweet had, he said only 14,500 trees are going to be felled, something that the activists picked up very quickly and said, how can you say it's only 14,500? 14,500 trees being felled in South Delhi cannot be a only figure. So he has come under a lot of criticism. A lot of people have been saying, if you want to make government flats, why don't you make it in the NCR region where you won't have to cut trees? Why do you have to make it right in the middle of South Delhi and you have to bring down the green cover to build these flats for Babu?
Right.